I'm married. Hey, here we go, here we go, here we go again. Bars with the bells, bars with the bells.
All right, welcome back to another Solomon's Porch one shot. Shawn has a public service announcement.
Is that what you're calling
Also a rant.
Rant.
Also, I don't know what else you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it's regarding Christmas.
Yeah.
So
if you've been listening to the show, you know that probably, 2 or 3 years ago now, I did a whole Christmas rant. And so I'd like to recap that just a little bit. The point I was trying to make with the rant was why it is that I don't like celebrating Christmas. And so, part of the whole reason is that, people are super greedy during Christmas. Their behavior is just not conducive to glorifying Christ. People go into debt. The poor feel like they're even less of people because they can't afford to do all this stuff, or they can't afford to get their kids stuff. There's all this glorifying of St. Nicholas instead of Christ. And on top of that, the Bible doesn't even give us any specifics. We know when Christ was crucified. We know when he rose from the dead, but his birth is kind of this thing. And in fact, actually, what information we do have indicates that it was closer to maybe September instead of December. So now we're talking about it being a man-made holiday. And at that, a man-made holiday to be able to help convert pagans to Christianity. And so, okay, I guess it's sort of noble, but it's still jacked up. And then all of our celebrations are revolving around pagan celebrations. So the last point to all of this was that early Christians, they didn't even celebrate birthdays because they believed that that they were being egocentrical, that in order to be humble, you wouldn't celebrate your birthday. Only someone like Caesar, who thought of themselves as a god, would actually celebrate their birthday or have other people celebrate their birthday. So, why should we celebrate Christ's birthday? Okay, now that I've recapped, I now believe that it is perfectly fine for a Christian to celebrate the holiday. Okay, I'm gonna call it the holiday like we refer to the child in Mandalorian. Okay,
just for anybody out there, this is going to be controversial. So play this out loud in your church meeting.
All right. So the point is this: if we simply remove Christ from Christmas, we now have a holiday that we can truly, honestly support and celebrate the way that it is already being celebrated. You can now do this guilt-free. I can go ahead and go Black Friday shopping and buy that TV, buy that game console, and not feel guilty about having spent all that money on myself instead of the needy. I can, so long as I don't do it in the name of Christ, go down to the soup kitchen once a year and help feed the needy. Because they only need it one time a year, right? Just so long as you don't do it in the name of Christ. I'm good with that. By all means, please do it. You can now have a party with your pagan friends and feel as though you're perfectly all right. You're not in sin because of it. The Bible is not clear that the birth of Christ was something that we needed to have revered on a specific day or time or do any other kind of celebration thereof. So as Christians, not celebrating Christmas actually makes a lot of sense. But wait.
There's more.
There's more. Why do we have to give up all of the fun that all of our pagan friends are doing?
Like what?
Well, like Santa Claus. I'm not saying that you have to tell them the gifts come from Santa Claus, but you know what? I like the Coca-Cola Fat Man. I like the Coca-Cola Polar Bears. They are so adorable. I feel guilty enjoying them as a Christian because it's not Christ-like. It takes away the emphasis from Christ from Christmas. If you just take Christ out of Christmas, it's not a problem. So as simple as this may seem, it's actually super deep. I saw this guy the other day. He was reeling on he was on his cell phone. He's railing on about shoppers and cashiers, and he's using all these expletives. He's got his little boy, who's probably like 4 or 5 years old, sitting in the shopping cart, and he's cussing up a storm. And he's got this T-shirt on that says "Best Dad Ever." I'm not kidding you. It said "Best Dad Ever." And he's railing on, cussing up a storm in Walmart. The employees that he's passing are like, "Oh my gosh, did you hear that guy? He's got his kid in the shopping cart." Don't claim to be the best dad ever, and then you're fine. Nobody would think twice about it. Nobody would even consider, "Oh my goodness, would you see what he's doing?" They just go, "Okay, he's just a jerk." But he's wearing a best dad ever t-shirt. Don't do these things in the name of Christ, because you're only going to make the rest of us look bad. You look like an idiot buying all these expensive things for your family members that don't need a thing. If you're only going to help people one time a year, is that very Christ-like? No. You should be celebrating all year long. And in fact, it shouldn't even be about his birth, but about his resurrection. And instead, we downplay Easter, and it's barely the day that we even give it. And instead, we still add in all these other extra pagan garbage on top of it. So the only one true Christian holiday, the only one true Christian holy day, we actually downplay, and we toss in a bunch of pagan crap on top of it. No, celebrate Christmas. Just take Christ out of it. Just celebrate Mass. Or don't celebrate Mass.
Xmas.
Xmas. Yes, celebrate Xmas. Just celebrate. Be happy. It's a holiday. It's a holy day. You know what? On our round 5, I didn't answer whether I said happy holiday or Merry Christmas. I used to be a very staunch, it's got to be Merry Christmas. And then it was like, okay, well, holy day is holiday, and it's really the same thing, and it's not a big deal. And then I had some Jewish friends, and it's like, okay, well, I totally get it, and they're still having a good time, too. In fact, they get 8 nights of gifts. I'm just saying, 8 nights of partying, that's pretty cool, actually. Why are you walking around with a stick up your butt about whether or not I say Merry Christmas? Are you really showing the love of Christ to people? If you're standing in Lowe's and you're like, "No, it's Merry Christmas," are they getting Christ's love when you do that? Are they getting Christ's love when you're fighting somebody for that toy that your kid wants? I mean, come on. Don't do it in the name of Christ. Don't celebrate Christmas. Just celebrate the season. Don't take it back. It was theirs to begin with. And remember, Jesus loves you way more than I do.
Man, that's it.
That's it.
That was only 5 minutes, 7 minutes.
Really? See, there you go.
Wasn't that long?
Yeah. Well,
and this was Shawn's rant because
because you don't want to stake claim to it. Okay, that's all right.
No. It's not that. I hadn't thought about this stuff in the way that you have.
Right.
But I do know that there are so many things around Christmas symbolisms, the tree and the candy cane and all this, that, and the other, which all come from all pagan sources. But we've taken it and
made
attached,
it ours.
Christian themes to it. The tree represents the cross that Christ was crucified on, that tree,
and everlasting life,
and then gifts, and then gifts are the gift of Christ that we're giving to one another, stuff like that. And so for and like I said, for me, I really don't care. I am one of the people that get upset because we make such a huge deal out of Christmas, and we make very little of a huge deal about Easter.
Right.
And so for that reason, I just don't, whatever, and then kids love it because they get gifts. I mean, are you really making it about Christ by buying a whole bunch of gifts? What's your emphasis on it? Things like that. For me, it's just, I teach my kids about the importance of giving and love. And I do attach Christian teachings, around this time, but I don't take like the Christmas tree and try to take all the different things and attach Christian themes to it or biblical teaching to it. I just teach them the same way I would the rest of the year. Like, we give because we love, and, we love because Christ loved us first, things like that. But I don't take okay, the candy cane represents this and the garland represents this. And
See,
the
so
tree
you're already
represents
taking Christ
this.
out of Christmas too.
Not in the way that you're meaning. You're like, no, absolutely. Just take the whole, just do mass. Just gonna do mass.
Moss. Which is much. or more, right? No more.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
In Spanish. So, yeah, there you go. Party more. Marry more. I want more Mary in my life. So,
Man, I can't wait. If there are any comments on the YouTube channel, I can't wait to see the comments. And because I know Shawn's not going to pay attention to any of them.
I'm not. I don't really care what you guys think. So I just get to have this wonderful platform to say whatever the heck I want to. And I heard somebody say that the other day. They're like, you know what? I'm just going to say whatever I want because I get to.
Right.
You don't have to listen to it.
That's very true. Very true.
But I do want you to seriously think about this. I have a point here. I may be presenting it a little bit in an extreme fashion, but I have a point here. And I think that honestly, if you give it a little bit of time and let it soak in here, there's something to be learned, something to be taken away from this. I'm still going to listen to Christmas music. I'm still going to go visit family.
Are you going to say Merry Christmas?
I've actually avoided it so far this year. So,
you did say it today once.
Did I or did I?
You did say it
mouth
once up. You said it once up.
I might have. Okay, so
you
anyway,
fell for it.
But just think about it. It is not really our holiday to begin with. It's not ours. Leave it alone. Let the pagans have it if they want it. You can do what you want to do, but don't impose on other people.
Well, pagans don't want it. I've never seen pagans out there like, Christmas is ours. Let's take it back.
Well, but I think in a way they have, because I would say that any non uber conservative Christian that's celebrating Christmas, okay, so anybody other than that fits in the category of they're trying to take Christ out of Christmas. Let Target take Christ out of Christmas. Who cares? It's again, it isn't our holiday. Our holiday is Easter.
But Easter is Resurrection Sunday, Shawn. How dare you say Easter?
Yeah, sorry, Resurrection Sunday. But the point is that we're not even really supposed to be doing this anyway. So,
well, there's at
least not in His name.
There's no biblical
context.
Yeah. There's no biblical context to it. It's something that
nothing supported.
This is a man-made thing. It just is. There's no biblical context on doing this. The only thing you could say is the Magi that went and gave gifts to Jesus. That's about the only thing you can really attach to Christmas, the getting of the gifts from the Magi. That's about it. It's about it. And
So
in that case,
unless you're giving frankincense, myrrh, and gold, then you're not supposed to give anything.
and in that case, I'm not saying this to validate anybody who might say this in the pulpit, but you should really be giving all those gifts to God,
Oh,
not to one another.
oh,
Like, you should be taking your Christmas money and taking it to your local church and put it in the storehouse.
oh, touche.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's it.
All right.
The views and opinions of Solomon's Porch do not represent the views and opinions of any of our Patreons or sponsors. They might disagree with us wholeheartedly, but here's the thing: we can agree to disagree.
Take Christ out of Christmas.
Yeah, and always remember again that Jesus loves you way more than Shawn does.
Way more.